Hey y'all. So, pursuing your higher purpose amidst life challenges is just not all spiritual, it's also subatomic. The field is active, the frequencies are speaking, and your higher purpose is not conceptual, it's encoded. So, let's talk quantum revelation. We're going to go over all the scriptures and connect it to the transits and also connect it to quantum physics. First, we'll start with Judges plus the Scorpio moon plus the Juno retrograde that's going on in the sky. The quantum principle that anchors this is entanglement and also emotional charge memory. When particles are once entangled, they affect each other. No matter how far they drift apart, trauma carries charge. Emotional frequencies remain entangled with decisions we made under stress. So, back in the Bible in Judges, Jephthah was exiled, then used. Then he was victorious, then misunderstood again. His emotional wound was entangled with his leadership. His bow was not divine strategy. It was emotional residue. Juno retrograde in Scorpio reopens relationship soul contracts we made when we were trying not to be abandoned. What you haven't resolved energetically gets re-invoked. Purpose becomes polluted by pain unless you collapse that emotional field. You can't pursue divine purpose while dragging the electromagnetic imprint of rejection. Like, it's gotta be healed, bruh. Collapse it and then recode it. Next, we're gonna go into First Chronicles and we're gonna combine that with Mercury enters Aries. We're going to ground that with the quantum principle of observer effect and delayed manifestations. The act of observation collapses a wave into a particle. Intention must be aligned before you observe, or you're going to manifest out of misalignment. So, in the text, David wants to build for God, but God was like, you won't build for me, I'll build through you. He wants to honor, but his intentions and timing don't match divine order. I know a lot about that. Mercury in Aries pushes action, but if you observe it prematurely, you collapse a field that's still forming. So your desire to do for God must be surrendered. Purpose manifests when observation meets resonance. Don't collapse the field with your ego. Collapse it with your worship. The book of Hosea, we're going to combine that with the Mars-Jupiter parallel that's going on, plus the Sagittarius moon that happens to 10:38 p.m. tonight. The quantum principle that we're going to anchor that with is living frequency plus morphic resonance. Our lives become a signal in the field. Pain definitely carries frequency, but also so does purpose. Morphic field organizes around shared emotional signatures. Think about trauma bonding or healing bonding. Same thing. Hosea's calling, boy, that was hurt. It's real intimate, but it's also humiliating. But it was his assignment. His heartbreak was a broadcast frequency, not just for him, but for the nation. So, purpose is not what you say, it's what you become while carrying something you really didn't ask for. Hosea became a living morphic field. He holds a resonance pattern of God's fidelity through human greed. Oh, some of your pain isn't just yours. its collective frequency. We got to surrender that and rearrange our fields. The Mars-Jupiter parallel equals a momentum field. The quantum principle we're going to anchor that with is activation energy. Every system needs a certain amount of input energy before a reaction can happen. Without ignition, the field is going to stay dormant. This parallels gives us a push to move. But if we activate it while it's still distorted, meaning we're not dealing with our trauma in real time, we have bitterness, or we're feeling like we're unworthy, we're going to ignite the wrong outcome. So before we activate, we must align, then ignite. So at all of this, let's put this all together now. The element of quantum parallel is devotional anchor. And we'll get back to that into episode 5. David, he had the observer effect, which means to wait until the vision matches alignment. In Hosea, he had the morphic field, resonance of the living, the frequency of God's grief and grace. The Mars-Jupiter activation energy is only ignited when the inner field is aligned. The Mercury Aries that's going on in the sky is like premature collapse. Speech must match spiritually before it can move forward. So, I'm going to end this episode with a declaration. And this is something that you can apply to your life. I am not defined by the emotional field I was born into. I collapse distortion. I reclaim resonance. I carry purpose in my bones and signal in my frequency. I no longer chase, I align. Stay tuned for episode 5 of Peace 5. We're almost done, guys. Thank you.